Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the next episode of Hardpoints, episode 16, pre-Minnesota. And Warzone Season 4 is coming. I'm excited to get in the conversation today. I've got the break time boys with me. How are you guys doing today?
Hey, I'm doing good. We're doing good. We're doing good. Chris is on 4 hours of sleep.
Yeah,
I'm actually on 14 hours.
Crowder looks
what?
Crowder looks half.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
I remember I collapsed
Wow.
yesterday. I collapsed and I fell asleep. No retainer, no nothing. Just fucking laid down in bed and woke up 14 hours later. That's what
Clint
happened.
is he didn't rage at Warzone today, so that's good. And here we are.
But you've been much better.
Yeah,
you know.
I had enough caffeine to kill an elephant. I got through it.
All right. Well, another fantastic episode. I think the only way we can start off with this one is the recent news of Damon Karma Barlow retiring from the scene. The Surge team wasn't really making a significant impact on the league this year. Just a lot of struggles with them, but Barlow retires. Did you guys think this was coming? I didn't think it was coming this soon. No way.
Oh, I thought it was coming. I mean, I'll be honest. I thought it was coming after the World War II drop. I mean, he talked about it where he just felt like every single COD, like he just wasn't in love with COD anymore. Yeah. And that's always the hardest part. But it's easier to deal with that when you're on a dynasty team and you're winning, or your team is always in the running to win.
Relevant,
and I think, the Seattle Surge team sort of, with their struggles, and I think he was just sick of everything, honestly. But yeah, did not see it coming. I just thought maybe it would be at the end of the year.
Yeah, that's what I kind of thought too. The only reason why is like I was surprised when he retired because by no means do I think he needs to. Right? Like I don't think this is a retirement because he can't keep up or anything of the sort. But at the same time, like if I could put myself in his shoes or just kind of imagine the culture of that Seattle team right now, just like probably not doing that well and just probably not getting the best practice, it's probably just not fun to scrim with that team, right? I feel like that kind of probably sucks it out of you too. And I feel like it's like a product of that where it's like he's not really loving Call of Duty. I think he's openly said he kind of doesn't like MW at all. Right. There's been a lot of opening statements of that. So
I don't know if he's liked COD since Ghost,
and this one and honestly, this one specifically is probably way worse than the ones that he hasn't liked in the past. So like I could see that kind of just building up and then being him like for how much he's accomplished, like I don't know. Fuck that. That's what
like what else do you need to do, right?
Yeah.
But like I feel like this could be so good. Like when I first read it, it did surprise me just because it was like, I don't know. I think I was talking to Joe at the time. I saw the tweet. And I was like, oh, I guess he retired. Like it just seems so. It's just like this plain tweet. I guess I expected like more. I don't know. I just saw it. I was like, oh, Karma's done. Well, it caught me off guard.
Yeah, I would have like. I'm still kind of waiting for it, but like he had such a career, right?
Yeah,
he's considered one of the GOATs, 3 world championships, a bunch of championships. Like, where is my goddamn montage? Like where, like, and I'm sure it's probably coming, but like, where's like, put me in my feels.
Yeah,
right? But like that's what I want to see.
The nostalgia or something. Yeah.
The big thing here, though, and so I texted Damon, basically right as I read it, and I didn't text him like "sorry to hear that" or "good luck." Exactly what I texted him was, "I better see your ass streaming every day." Literally the first thing I texted him, because I think we all agree, Damon, he's unique. He's funny unintentionally sometimes. Like he is just a very entertaining character. And I think we all think he could crush it streaming. I swear to God, if I see him not streaming and playing Rust 10 hours a day, I'm gonna throat chop him. Like
he's been streaming Rust for 10 hours a day.
Well, at least he's streaming. But like I told him, I was like, dude, if he just imagine, man, if he put in time to Warzone, like he could kill it. But it might.
He's a gamer. He's like you. Like he plays everything.
Yeah.
And he could probably do the variety thing. But like I just hope, and it was harder to do, I think, when his pro career was going on to dedicate time to streaming. But I don't know. I think he could kill it in the content side if he has works his ass off.
I don't know if he's gonna coach.
Yeah,
that's what I was gonna say. Like, what does he want to do? I don't know.
He kind of didn't he kind of hint towards that with one of his tweets.
Yeah, then he's
like, "I'll be back" or something.
I mean, wasn't it like a Belichick?
If I was him, being flat out fucking honest, if I was him, absolutely not. I would stream every day. I would stream every goddamn day if I had the chance to. Like, especially because how much he loves video games and like how like he likes to play Rust and any game under the sun, right? Like. With how much he's built up a brand, he can turn on a stream right now and get a good amount of viewers, which we all know, and he's done it before, and then do it really well. You see a lot of pros or a lot of people retire and then focus on content and usually end up doing so much better for themselves than they were doing as a pro where he's had like an almost unmatched career anyway. So it's good. Like if he can do better than that, but like just in general, I don't know. If I was him, everyone's different, but I would just be able to want to be like my own boss kind of thing and stream and just have fun and play my favorite games.
Yeah,
and
it's
do
a lot of
my
time
thing. I
to
don't know.
coach. It's like a lot of time, as you know.
It's the
like,
same amount as a player.
Yeah.
If he
Except for
wants
you
to
don't have
be-
to put the extra hours in technically with like playing.
If he wants to be involved in the CDL, I'm sure we could have him on the desk for an event or like some sort of show he could do. I'm sure we can get him involved in some way if he really wanted to still have a tie to COD. But like, yeah, coaching's it's like a full
I
time
mean,
job.
I don't think there's any reason why I can't do exactly what I've been doing recently.
Yeah,
you know,
no,
This is the same-
seriously, yeah.
this is the same sort
Yeah,
of thing.
That's what I
Like,
would want to do.
and speaking from that POV, like the stress of coaching, I don't know. It really depends on the group that you have around you and what sort of organization you can get behind you. So like maybe
Yeah, that's
there's
all
a way.
really
Maybe
important.
there's a way that makes sense for him. But yeah, if you have the opportunity to be a content creator, like how can you not? So it'll be interesting to see what he wants to do and what he decides to do moving forward. But he has been streaming a good amount from what I've seen. And honestly, just for Damon, just knowing him, like I just hope that, you know, it's a stress relief for him. Like I know he wasn't having fun for a long time there. There were some times on some of the rosters when, you know, he just wasn't having a great time, not enjoying the game, not like just going through it. And years and years of that, it can kind of just wear on you as a person. So I hope, you know, I hope he like can, I don't know, bounce back a little bit and just do whatever the fuck he wants for a little while. Like the guy's more than earned it, right? So
yeah, no, seriously, and that's why like I was kind of going to like I don't even know if I would want to coach if I were him. Like he's probably been very stressed these last couple of years, and just like why not just enjoy your favorite games, focus on content, and have some fun. Like
Yeah.
you're in a spot to take that. Like I don't know.
There could be, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, there could be just an offer he couldn't resist. I'm honestly like,
Of course, yeah.
it gets to the point where an org is like, we need help. And I don't think Damon, I think everybody's going to have you guys have different coaching styles. I think Damon could, like, even look at the way Damon was on a team. He wasn't always the most vocal guy, but when he talked, he meant it. And I think that could be the thing. Like, he could be a very third party sort of just extra set of eyes. People will listen to him. That is also different compared to coaches in the league in a lot of ways compared to
that's
Damon.
a great point. Yeah.
If Damon says something, you better listen. Or like you guys, a
Like,
three-time world champion.
Going back to coaching them, like he would be quiet a lot, and then whenever he would like freak out all of a sudden in scrims
He's
about
pissed.
like a particular issue, we would usually make a lot of advancements in whatever he was talking about. It's like, I wonder how that would translate over to coaching.
Because he's recognizing it and he's being punted. Like, because I play with Damon a little bit too, and like he always looked at COD a little bit differently than everyone else, which is what I think, made Damon such a unique player. But yeah, like it could just be something where maybe it's, I don't know, this would have to be like a content coach deal where he doesn't have to coach every day, but almost like an analyst role where he just watches VODs type thing. I think there could easily be a way where he can make a good amount of money being involved with an org.
Oh yeah,
on that
for
side.
sure. I
Just
mean, if
because
he gets
people
that,
need
that's
help.
the dream. Yeah.
Yeah.
If he doesn't have to be in the, if we're talking like something in that role where he doesn't have to be in the scrim for 6 hours a day, like, most coaches,
There could be a
then
karma
absolutely.
coaching role. Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I think he'd bring
No,
enough to the
that's-
table to warrant something like that. Like it's karma, right? So
yeah.
it'd be
Yeah,
interesting.
no, there's
interesting.
definitely, there's
But it's,
definitely. I mean,
we're gonna-
you
I
can only
think-
benefit.
Yeah, we're gonna miss him. I miss, a lot of good memories with Damon. I mean, I've been competing against Damon in World at War. Him and I were like considered the two best World at War players. So we're talking 2009. When he's just always had a unique style, a unique approach to the game, but he's a funny guy, man.
What was his tag? What was his tag? Sally?
Sally no nos.
Sally no knows. Yeah, dude, he was so annoying in World at War. God, he was so annoying. I mean, yeah, he's a
annoying.
beast.
He was annoying. Well, you guys have more. You and TeeP specifically, and even probably Maven have way more engagements with Damon than I do. Because I was always on the opposite side. Like I never really teamed with Damon. I talked to him obviously here and there. Like we always had respect for each other. Like I've always thought highly of him, but I just played against that guy too fucking much.
Yeah.
To be
No,
frank. I ran into him too many goddamn times, and it was never fun every time. So.
I got a lot of experience playing with him at the top and at the bottom. Like we were the two that kind of stuck together after the EG stuff, right? And then our team was absolutely it went really well. For those that don't know, our team was absolutely terrible in Advanced Warfare. It didn't go well. But I won a world championship with the guy. He's a jack of all trades. He thinks about the games differently. He was able to run whatever sort of role that he wanted. And I think like just hearing him talk about it a couple times throughout the years, like I think he just wanted to play a main AR role for a long time, and he never had the opportunity to. And he just like, I mean, he's teaming with Octane on this team. You're not gonna, yeah, Octane's gonna run a main. Yeah. So it's just like I don't know if he just wasn't able to run the role that he wanted for like long enough, or he's just like, all right, maybe it's just not.
I think he was trying to make it fun for himself.
Absolutely.
Right. At the end of the day, it's hard to get on and deal with the stresses, especially competitive Call of Duty. Chris and I were having a conversation right before this podcast. I mean, Call of Duty pros, people that haven't been involved in competitive Call of Duty, it has been a stressful time, man, like for years. And we'll see what happens, but it's not getting any better. But yeah, it's I think he's just stressed and wanted to make it fun, and winning is always fun, and it makes those times like, all right, well, at least I get a $50,000 check. But yeah, that time just I think he finally hit a wall.
Can I use this time to tell a Damon story?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Please.
So I don't think people know this as much because like the whole me and Formal thing, and I think I love Formal and he's the player I'm the closest to. But like Damon's Damon's up there. Like he was around when I first got into things. It was real helpful with me learning stuff. But there's just some weird stuff. Like, dude, so I moved out to my first full-time job in the esports stuff was content acquisition with MLG, and I had to move out to California from where I was living. It was like my first job in this world. I had no friends up there, no family, no nothing, and I was broke. I couldn't afford a flight back home to Pennsylvania because I waited too long, and around Thanksgiving time, they were like $1,000. I just didn't have the cash to do it. So Damon invited me to go to their Thanksgiving with them, like with Holly's grandparents and Bella and just me. And I was like, really? And I was like, yeah, I got nothing else to do. So it was awesome. I like spent Thanksgiving with them. It was so cool to hang out with their family and stuff. But this part of the story I should not tell. But then I made a mistake. Thankfully, nothing happened. But this was one of the more embarrassing moments of my life. So I think Damon and I were drinking and playing games, and I think it was tequila. I had like a little coffee mug with a little tequila in it for some reason.
Never a good story with tequila.
I left it where we were gaming, and I left a little bit in it. And apparently Holly found Bella downstairs with the coffee mug in her hands, just like smelling it. And I was like, oh, nothing happened, thank God. But I was like, I almost got their daughter drunk. She was like 3. I was like,
oh my God.
Jesus Christ. And nothing happened. But I was like, dude, I literally had a heart attack when Holly walked up and woke me up. But then this is real quick, my favorite Damon story ever. TeeP, you were there, right? When we went to like Des Moines, Illinois for that pre-land thing before camps.
Yes.
Oh wait,
middle of nowhere.
Too? No, but you've told me this story.
Middle of nowhere.
I don't know this story.
Middle of nowhere. Like 2 hours from the airport, like Gandhi, Mr. X, and I set up this LAN. It's when Gandhi and I were working with UGC. It's like
Gandhi and Maven just randomly picked me up from the airport.
And we're like, oh, we're headed to the studios 2 hours away, bro, through just like fields. And I'm going back and forth in this van, just picking people up. But anyway, Damon gets there, and we're gonna do this thing, and Damon's in, and Damon looks at me and goes, I don't have any clothes. I was like, what? They're there for like 5 days. It's like, I don't have any clothes to wear. I'm like, what do you mean, Damon? He's like, I didn't bring any. So we had to take him to Target, and he had like buy outfits for the next 5 days because he just didn't pack anything. He didn't come with anything. He literally just left for a trip for 5 days, didn't bring a single thing. Damon's an idiot, but I love him. I love him very much.
Dude, he's just so unique.
No, he is. No, you kind of nailed it. I can't remember if it was TeeP or Crim when you said that about him being unique, because we did an interview which hasn't gone out yet. But the first thing they asked me about his gameplay, and I think it might have been TeeP like ages ago when I first met you. But I think it's like Gandhi and I and you were watching him some kind of play of him in like a 1v2 in Search, and he literally just like laid down somewhere, and I like looked at TeeP. I was like, "What's he doing?" He's like, "Just let him do his thing." Like he has this like instinct where it made no sense to me. I was still learning COD at the time, but I was like, that's not a power position. That doesn't even seem like a good spot to be in. It worked out. He killed them both and clutched it. And I think it was TeeP or Crim. One of you said like he has an instinct for the game that's different than everybody else. Just let him rock. I was like, okay.
Yeah. It's one of the things like even playing against him, like he's in spots that just annoy you. He pissed you off. He was always in the right position. He made the game very, very difficult for everybody that played against him. And I think that's what like made him so successful. It's just like when you compare to like what he was doing the last few years, he was doing it as a role player. Like imagine 1.2 Damon just constantly in a position where he killed your entire team. Like
that's what I was used to.
That was the annoying part. Yeah,
right. When we picked
he
him
was
up,
just in a spot. where he outthought you, he knew what you were doing, and you lost.
When we picked him up on the for ghosts, we were like, just kill everybody, dude. Like, drop a highest KD you can. We'll take care of all the other bullshit. Like, go grab an AR, grab a sub, you do whatever you want. So like, he lost that freedom on some of the rosters, and also it was kind of due to the games that came after that point. So it was just like very interesting to see how he progressed in his career, but just really good at every single role that he played for sure.
That's why I think it was. I was talking to Krim right before AW was going to come out, and I think it's when we kind of knew what the movement was going to be. And he was like, "Who do you think my first 2 targets are for the team?" And I figured Formal, because Formal was like the best player at the end of Ghost.
Yeah.
He's like Formal and Karma, and I can't remember exactly what I said, but he's just like, I know no matter what the title is, no matter what he needs to do, no matter what the movement is, no matter what's happening, Karma will be good at the game. And yeah, he's just good at shit.
He's a gamer.
Wait, he's not just good at COD too. He's just good at every game he plays.
He's a gamer.
By the way, yeah, like if you ever watch him, like that's why I think going back to like him streaming whatever game he wants, not even Warzone. Like you watch him play like any of these weird ass games he plays sometimes, and he's incredible at them all. So I think
played
he's
a lot
got a
of
really
CS
bright
with
future
him.
with that. Yeah,
he was nasty at that too.
Yeah, no, he's just talented at video games in general.
For sure. All right, well, Barlow, we wish you the best of luck, buddy. You're a beast.
It wouldn't surprise me if he's back next year.
Yeah,
for a
right.
Blackout team. It really would.
Maybe he likes the next COD and he's back. Who knows?
Yeah, like who knows?
Yeah, and I mean he can get the offer, and then that's definitely true too.
And now that I look back, my stories were weird. Like that's the type of shit you talk about. Someone died. Like he didn't die. he just retired from Call of Duty. But anyway,
still a good story.
The best way I remember him is I joined Envy the end of Black Ops 2, and I go to the Envy house, and him and Ray just get in arguments after arguments after arguments, and he would just, dude, it was some funny shit. I think there's like a stream of him just like running away from the stream, running upstairs, and you just hear the door close, and him just go, "Fuck you, Ray," and that is it, dude. Like some funny shit went on, but yeah.
Oh man,
we'll see what happens. But now on to Seattle. What are they gonna do?
Oh God. So let's transition. I'm going to talk about the Seattle stuff first. Let's go there.
Well, we can. Well, do you want to touch on the Warzone and Season 4, and then we can get into the CDL stuff in the event?
Yeah,
we can do that.
All right, let's do that.
I just want to do Karma first because Karma, this is the biggest thing to happen, right?
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, Warzone, we obviously play a goddamn lot of it every single week. We stream it every single morning together, and it's a blast. Season 4 is coming out, and I just feel like the game needs overhaul is the wrong way of saying it because I love Warzone the way it is. But
injected with some new life.
Yeah, it breathes some new life into it for sure, whether it be guns or maps or something. I think a lot of people, including ourselves, are obviously kind of bored with the GRAW MP5 meta, the maps staying the same, some of the buildings, things like that. In terms of gameplay for you guys or expectations for Season 4, are there like specific things that you guys want individually from the game?
You guys want to take the easy ones?
I'll take the easy one, as Keith just said. I mean, my only thing that I truly care about the most, is the mid game stuff. But I'll let one of you guys talk about that more. But I'm a big fan of using new weapons and keeping things new, fresh. And I feel even like a lot of people that watch my stream, and I'm sure you guys get this a lot in your streams too. Like even some viewers just like are kind of tired of just seeing an MP5 GRAW. And I think just nerfing or changing those weapons metas, or just having like the new, I think the Galil and the Vector are supposed to come into the Season 4, hopefully, like having those weapons become usable, or just something new where you're seeing these streamers run like these meta sweaty weapons when you're going for these big kill games, I think is like really, really important. At least to me, like I just like having new life, changing it up, play styles, just something different than using a gun that you can shoot across the map with no recoil as a sniper. Like
have you ever thought about the vault thing? How...
So I was gonna say vault it, but
just something just to keep it.
How many guns did Fortnite do? Just out of curiosity, when they did it,
a lot. They do it all the time still.
Yeah, vault like a third of the weapons, man, and just I don't know.
And
just just a vault GRAW. Is probably the easiest thing.
But even if you vaulted the GRAW, because the argument I was talking to my stream about this actually the other day, and the argument that a lot of people had, and it's like understandable, was like, well, wouldn't it just go back to the M4 meta for the most part? And like I totally see that too, and I wouldn't even mind them. But my gripe with that is like at least the M4, like from sniping range, like behind cover and stuff.
A shitty player is not going to beam you with it. You mean yes?
But I don't even care about shitty players. I'm just talking about any player. It just makes it a little bit harder and a little bit more of a skill gap. But like screw the skill gap part. It's like even if that's your argument, all right, vault those 2 weapons and then make it an M13 and a Galil meta. There's something a little bit different where
Yeah.
you see these other weapons being able to be used, which just keeps it more fresh, especially not even just for the players that play the game 5 to 10 hours a day, depending on who you are. I'm even talking about like someone who casually gets on every once in a while that just doesn't have to be using the Grawl to do well.
Well,
Like, I
that-
don't know. I feel like
that-
it keeps it fresh to me. I think that's
The
important.
only thing is that we don't know because what does this come back to? You look at Blackout last year, you could use any gun, right? This
Yeah.
comes back to
Just
how
the loadout
sweaty the
stuff.
game is.
Well,
Yeah.
It's just how sweaty it is. I mean, I would love to run around with Uzis and pick a gun, AK, doesn't matter. Like we could make loadouts. So I agree. I would love to see some change, but it's like almost at the root of this entire problem comes back to skill base. Like, because what to our listeners, what happens is we try a few loadouts and you get smoked. You run into a Graw MP5 and you're just annoyed. And then, well, for us, you lose viewers because like, well, this guy stinks. So if you want to put up numbers, you have to use what's meta right now because especially lately, I mean, I have been in scrims. If you smelled my chair, it smells horrible because my ass is sweating from these games. Like it is truly incredible how difficult these games have been. And I don't mind it. Like we can get into a whole skill-based thing because in a way it's kind of nice because for 18 months we played Blackout and just ran forward, which has its own limitations, its own problems. But yeah, I don't know. Like it just you're gonna continuously go back and forth with there's gonna be a meta and we're probably gonna have to use it as long as skill base is in it.
Well, yeah, and that's my thing is I'm not so the skill-based thing because people talk about that too is like that doesn't bother me specifically as much. I just want a new meta to be sweaty with. If it was if for hypothetically if it was an M13 P90, like even if though like obviously if with skill-based you're gonna run into most players using that meta if that becomes like the 2 best weapons, but at least it's something new. That's all I really want to.
Right, I get it.
Because I've been using the M4 P90 recently, and I've had like some pretty big games, and I've been doing okay with it. But like,
But using
obviously,
Kilo, I love that thing.
yeah,
Kilo's fun.
obviously, it's still not the same as me running around with the Gross. So it's like I just want something fresh, just for a little bit, just to have something new to run around with that I can still go really, really hard with. That's my thing.
Yeah.
What's up, Maven? Yeah, you were about look like you were about to say something.
Oh no, I was just gonna say like it's weird though to think about it from like maybe more casual POV.
Yeah.
Because like we're burnt out and we're sick of these guns, but I don't know. A lot of casuals probably aren't. They don't put in the hours we do. And
Yeah,
I
that's
just
totally
leave on
understandable,
Infinity
too.
Ward games, bro, and everything is a laser beam. I mean, you go back to MW2, the ACR and the FAMAS. I mean, they have just been known for. They have been known for casual laser beams.
You know me,
the
I like
Vector, the TAR, like.
But the M4 laser beams, though, these guns like the Kilo laser beams, the M13. Wait, the M13 laser beams. The
They
gun's
do,
laser
but
beam.
still, the
I'm just
Graw-
saying,
the
I just
Graw is
want a new
different.
laser beam. That's all I'm asking.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's fine.
I think
I love the Graw, I really do, but I just want something new to keep it.
I just
fresh.
hate it because the Graw because I like the snipe and it's fun.
Yeah.
It,
You
that
can't
makes
really-
and like
Flint
sniping is
sniping
just
horrible.
dude when
It
you
makes-
when
it
you
makes
take a
sniping
shot,
so hard.
I knock one, then 3 Graws are looking at me, and it's just like
Yeah, it's
okay,
impossible.
well, guys,
You got to
can
be
please
real
don't
quick
think-
with the sniper.
I
Yeah.
think the problem is again, like I'm not sure what the stats are. I wonder how many people actually have the Graw unlocked, like out of all the player base. That's like another random
Well, true.
thing
We run into it, yeah, because like obviously like 80% of the people we fucking fight have Graws. But
Yeah, exactly.
at a lower level, yeah, maybe it's not.
I think
much
it's
of a thing.
loadouts.
I don't know.
I think it's loadouts.
Yeah, loadout.
If
That's
they,
just a bigger combo, but it's like
it is a bigger combo, but like
I'm
that's,
kind of
that's
grown. I'm kind of grown
also
to like loadout though.
that's also the reason Blackout was the way it was. You
Yeah.
you didn't always find a SOG.
Forced variety. It's forced variety.
Yeah. So like
Yeah.
I'm a big floor loot guy. That's what makes a BR for me. I know a lot of people might disagree with that and they want their guns whenever they want. I get it, right? We're more of like hardcore and want variety since we play so many damn hours. So it's like different conversation maybe for a different time, but I don't know. I like floor loot. I like the randomness.
But even in Blackout, though, if you want to run a can SWAT, you could. We landed range and you could. I just think you could run the Vapor and snipers because, I mean, most of the time we weren't running into sweats.
No,
Well,
I meant more of like the time where you landed range and you didn't get a KN.
Yeah.
You're forced to use something else, and I find that fun. I find that fun. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's also an issue of like it also bothers me too when then like if you died in Blackout, well you were dead, I guess, so it's different. well, you couldn't come back. But like if you were, let's say you could come back in blackout, like you could pick up a floor loot gun and be fine. Like you could fight. Like right
Right.
now, you pick up a
can't.
gray M4 and you're going up
You're
against
done.
McGraw. Like, yeah, I don't care if you're playing Billy Bob from Kentucky. Like you are fucked. Like it's just,
Yeah.
I mean, you can win it, but you know what I mean. Like it's
Yeah,
hard.
right.
It's so hard.
That brings us to the nice point though, Clint, right there. Mid game, which is probably my biggest gripe right now.
I want to skip it. I just want to go like start to play 5
There's
minutes.
been
Yeah, go to
two
endgame.
changes that they haven't really talked about that happened. Well, I guess they talked about. Well, the box money they didn't really say. I don't think in a patch note.
I don't know if they did.
For some
or not.
reason, hey, if you guys could put stuff in the patch notes, that'd be great. Stop silent doing things. Great, thank you. Thumbs up. Second of all, okay, so let me into that. Because there's no money in boxes, what's going on mid game is people, because it's so hard to get loadout, because it's so hard to res people, your teammates. What's happening is either A, people are quitting because they're like, you know what, it's not even worth it. 3 of us are dead. You know, Clint, you're the last one alive. There's a scavenging quarry, but let's just reset and restart. Or 2, like, you can't find boxes with money. You either had to get a scav or you had to get boxes with money. You can't do that now. Or people are trying to land on their loot again, and then they're dying again, right? Because people are just camping their loot.
Do you think in hindsight, raising the price of loadout had a bigger negative impact than we thought on the mid game? Like if it was
No,
still
I
cheaper,
think them losing money or taking
for the
money out
boxes,
of that.
obviously, but like if loadout was, what was it when it started?
It was
6.
6.
No, it was 4,500,
Yeah,
and then it was
yeah,
6.
it was really cheap. Like if it was
Yeah.
4,500 right now, I mean, I just wonder what its impact
think-
would be on mid game.
I thought
if you could get
6
loadout a
was
lot
good.
quicker.
I thought 6 was fine, personally.
I thought it,
So-
wasn't it 85 at a point or no?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
Never mind,
So
keep going, Justin,
people are quitting because they don't want to do scavs and boxes already in money, or they are dropping on their loot because it's the only way to get back into the game.
Yep.
So what's happening is lobbies are dying fast, and the other update they did was they slowed down every other circle besides the first, which absolutely horrible. 2, 3, and 4 circle are horrendous.
So
Like,
So I was tired today, but I looked at the map and I didn't think it was moving. I thought we were just in a still circle, and then I looked closer. I was like, oh, it's moving. It's
So the
it's so
mid-game-
slow.
When I see
Of
3
Warzone
minutes
right
of it
now.
on the red counting down for 3 fucking minutes, I lose my mind. Like, move.
without bounties, which they took out at one point, by the way. Bounties are the only
they
reason to
took
have
out
mid-game.
bounties. I forgot about that.
Mid games are a mess. So either they need to do something where games are quicker, or people need to be able to get money faster, so they actually try to get their teammates back. Because that's what I think has made Warzone so awesome is there is a constant bit of action, and there's going to be a lot of people like, well, with PUBG and other games, like you do run into this because what's happening now is 20 to 30 people are going super. We're going super because there's no, well, that's the only place to get money right
Floor
now.
loot.
Like we used to drop hangers.
Yeah.
It's the only place you really find money. But obviously, people are trying to kill their favorite streamers. They're trying to be like their streamers. So games are going to speed up. So mid game is taking a big negative toll, and they have to
Well,
figure it out.
The hope here is that I know we're not the only people noticing this. It has been there's been a massive shift. The game has changed monumentally from a pacing standpoint. And I know Activision and Infinity Ward and the devs are very big on data. So I know they know this is going on. So I'm hoping that they don't think it's in a better place. Like for them.
Yeah.
That they noticed that it shifted more than maybe they expected it to. Because it's a domino, dude. They might have made one change not knowing what impact it would have on everything else. Like that's tough. I mean, I might not have saw all that coming.
Definitely.
So I'm hoping they have all this data and they're thinking, okay, we need to help pick it up and inject some stuff. Is what I'm hoping. But I don't know.
No, Joe nailed it. People, when you get gulagged off the rip and you have to come back and scav, that's the worst experience ever. And it's not fun. So like I can only imagine, and we do it plenty of times, and like I can only imagine the casuals. They're like, screw it, let's just try and land on our loot. If we die, we'll just queue up again. Why would you care?
That's what I do.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
If there's 2 or 3 of us that win gulag, that's what we do.
Yeah,
The only time we go to a scav is it's 1 or 2
One-
of us.
one
Then
guy
you have
and
to scav.
yeah.
Then you have to scav again so you can get a loadout for your team.
Scavs are boring. I'll do one every once in a while, but like I don't know. Does it really add much to the gameplay? It's the if the money was how it was before out of the boxes, who would do scavs? Not very many people, I don't think.
I'm
I don't
hoping this is
Or
where,
less people.
when Treyarch had the issues with armor, they kind of threw darts at a board and tried a lot of different stuff to get it to a good place. And it took like 5 different versions. So I'm hoping they're going to throw some stuff at the game and try and fix it. Some might be good, some might be bad, but just try some shit. Just fucking change something,
Just something,
and try it.
Yeah, something different. Yeah.
In the root of the problem, like a lot of the times, is that just like, like there could be a lot of people that really enjoy Warzone and the pace of it, but so many of these fights are stressful. Like, you never can just run across, like, you know, Blackout, we had slow games. Like, after range, there'd be 50 people left, but you just get a car, you'd fly, you'd fight. Like, you can't get in cars because everybody in the world has C4.
C4
That's really
is,
topic. I can't wait to get to that. You're done,
and then B, every fight, you have to either climb a ladder, beam someone off a rooftop, or go up 10 stairs of freaking 10 flights of stairs. And it's just so stressful, man. Like,
they're hard fights all the time.
I don't know. I have no idea what the you know, how the fix is, if it's a map change or just adding more people or getting more people into the game somehow, but it's in a tough spot.
Can we talk C4?
Stinks.
Yeah,
because I actually think C4 is the single biggest crutch in the game. More than the Grab, more than the MP5, more than anything. It is the one thing that every single person runs. I'm one of the only people that I play with a lot of people. I'm the only person that runs fucking Simtexes. Other than maybe
I think you and Huskers are the only 2 people.
Doug.
Everyone runs. Everyone, dude. Doug and I had a situation the other day in Promenade where we had to go from one red roof to the other. 2 different teams of 4. I kid you not, coming up the like little ladder hole, 8 C4s, 8 C4s, just coming up 8. Yeah. Either they need to nerf them, or you can only carry 1 as a person or something. But C4 is the single biggest crutch in the game. And what makes it worse is like unless you have restock, which that's a whole different debate. I prefer Ghost, but you could have restock. But if you don't have restock, the other big thing is it's hard to get. It's very difficult for me to get Simtexes back. Like once I use my Simtex,
everybody's got C4. You pick them off the ground.
Exactly.
I never run out.
Using C4, everybody fucking has C4, so it even it's like a snowball.
Permanent restock.
Yes.
Like a ghost and restock.
It's insane. It's fucking insane, dude. When I was sitting up top and watching these fucking little like a volcano of C4 just coming out, I'm like, dude, I don't know. That's actually, I think, been triggering me more than anything.
The blast readies too. I mean, there's plenty of times when you have a trophy on your car and the trophy can't even suck the thing up, and they explode it midair, and it blows you up because the blast radius is so big.
I would love to see if they did a percentage breakdown of every single perk, every single gun, every single item, and saw the highest percentage of usage. I bet my fucking life it's C4.
C4 and Ghost?
I bet even more than Ghost. Yeah, but probably.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I'm just in the category. I mean, C4 is probably 95%, I would say.
No, it's got to be insane. And that to me is the definition of a crutch.
And the fact you can carry 2 is hilarious. It's the same thing with rockets. We're nerfing rockets which the nerf of the rockets is fine. But the biggest problem with rockets was that you could spam them. You had 7 of them. And by the way, you could buy ammo boxes. And by the way, if you had 3 other teammates running rockets, you could have 28 rockets to spam a building. Like
rockets haven't been too bad lately, at least. Yeah.
Agree. Well, I mean, nobody's using them. Yeah. That's their favorite streamer, right? And spam. Like, I think the nerfs were fine, but I think you could have avoided those nerfs by just limiting the ammo.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It'll be interesting. But yeah, C4 stinks.
It's been really getting under my skin lately, bro.
Getting one tap by a rocket with EOD is the worst thing ever, too. In early game. Rockets don't belong in early game. Put it in the loadouts. Take it out early game. I want to see more early game floor loot, too. Switch it up. We've had the same floor. They used to switch it up, every couple weeks? And now we've had this same floor loot for how long now? I don't know.
Yeah, what we used to run around with a Scar and the MP7?
MP7, Scar, just different. Yeah, right? Like, I just don't know. I feel like those are like easy things just to make the game feel a little bit more fresh. I don't know.
A little fresh. Yeah, a little bit more fresh.
So
I think it's a big update. It's just it's got to be a big one. I think this is a pivotal time. Like I do think we're at like a time where people are looking.
I know a lot of listeners, a lot of viewers are going to see this as just like a negative tone conversation. But I love
Warzone.
We're going to continue. Like we did this with Blackout 2, and we played more Blackout as a foursome, if you want to call it that, than anyone else.
Yeah.
So like we are invested, and we have so many hours to back up these claims that we're making, and we promise we think it would make the game better for every type of player. That's why we make these claims. So
Well, that's the
just
tough
throwing
part,
that out
yes,
there.
yes and no, yes and no. Like some stuff, it's hard. I just don't know. It's hard to relate to like a casual player sometimes. But I
Fair
think
enough.
most of this stuff will make it better. But it's tough.
I just think a lot of the casual players wouldn't even know.
Maybe not. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe that's mean, but I don't know. That's my
No,
take.
no, no. I don't think so. But it's tough because a lot of our conversations. Yeah, I think about that. Like I try to be like, I
We're
wonder what it's
higher.
like for
Yeah,
them.
yeah, we're higher level. Like
And I mean, just some map changes. I feel like even though like a lot of the blackout ones weren't great, at least there was some changes. I mean, there was supposed to be events. I don't know how much like COVID is really playing into this stuff, which
that's true.
could really change a lot of their roadmap. Because I know they announced some public events. Like I don't know what the event would be, or it's just so different because Fortnite, they could do concerts and aliens. Like we're talking Warzone. Something's blowing up, or I don't know, something's happening, right? Like a dam's blowing up, the stadium's opening up. There's gonna be a nuke.
Yeah.
Like we're playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Like it's not gonna be anything crazy like freaking Snoop Dogg in the stadium. Like like with a live concert. Like we're not doing that.
That'd be awesome.
So I'm
That would be cool.
So I'm ready for some map changes too. I think it's about time.
We're getting DMCA'd for sure.
Yeah, right, true.
All right. Well, that's our hopes and dreams for Warzone. We want to see mid-game sped up. We want to see some different weapons, some different floor loot. Just put some money in our damn pockets. It's like it just seems like pretty simple things that like kind of hindered the game for no reason. But moving on now from the Warzone conversation, there's a CDL event. It got delayed, but it's now this weekend. So there's events back-to-back weekends now with the new schedule. That's crazy.
Yep.
So that's that'll be exciting. But for the Minnesota event, it's pretty goddamn stacked. It's actually insane. Let me throw up the groups really quickly.
It's the most stacked event yet, right?
It's the one that I think Clint and I we circled it and we're like Minnesota is going to be incredible. Yeah, you have the 4 CDL home series winners. You have Minnesota here, which we can get into that sort of where their position is. But yeah, I think it's everybody's here. Everybody that one is here. I think you win this event, you could probably be the world's. Yeah, you can argue world's best for a good amount of time.
It's actually crazy. Group A, Group B. I mean, Group A is really, really solid top to bottom. Unfortunately, it's just poor Surge.
Dude, what if they come out there is nasty?
Yeah, imagine. Proto probably comes in and just starts carrying. I don't know. But you can see over there in Group A, we have Seattle, Atlanta, Minnesota, and Dallas. Group B, we have Los Angeles Guerrillas, Toronto, and then on the bottom there, Chicago versus Florida in the round 1 matchups. But yeah, Joe said it. If you walk away with this one, definitely bragging rights moving forward because you finally don't have that like, oh, well, X team wasn't here. This team wasn't here. Like they had an easy tournament. Like, I hate all those conversations. I hate that to begin with, but people still make them. You can't do it here. You just can't do it.
Assuming Atlanta, Dallas, or Chicago, when it sort of ends that little debate that's going on.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a couple talking points. I don't know if we want to do. Should we try and get through predictions first, or you guys want to have some talking points about the teams?
Chris, what would you do if Seattle just came out and thumped your shit round 1?
Oh well.
Oh well.
I mean, shit, it happens, man.
Yeah, Chris's mentality and stuff, I fucking love it, bro.
What do you mean? They're being hot champs,
I mean, yeah. Let's just talk. Probably talk matchups. Talk matchups.
Yeah, let's talk individual matchups. Sure. Throw up the groups again here. So Clint brought it up. So Seattle versus Atlanta there in the round 1. Do we think this is going to be close? I don't. Not even.
No, Seattle should forfeit.
Excuse me.
So what? So people who don't know, Proto is coming in.
Yes, for Karma.
So
right?
it's Proto and Pander. Enable is not playing. I guess with Enable, here is the tweet we have. To shed some light on my situation, I wanted to keep competing. Didn't care about my stock barely. I wanted to try and turn things around with the team, which I think he's talked about. But no one on the team wanted to play with me besides Sam.
Wow.
So now here's my question to you. I mean, I know what you're gonna say, Joe, but like, so the only one that wanted to play with him is Sam. Who holds the most weight on Seattle when it comes to that?
I'm thinking. So it's really interesting to me though too because I don't see apathy. That's kind of guy. So to me, this comes down to like Slacked and Pander.
Well, I could see Slack and Enable getting into it. I remember when Chris has experience with it too, but I actually briefly
Weren't they good friends?
Slackton, I think. Well, Enable gets along with everyone pretty well, and I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
Gary gets.
Yeah,
I'm
but
pretty sure
dude,
they're close. Yeah, I
he
don't know.
gets
though.
along with people like out of game. But dude, I remember when I was like, when it was what was that curse? Orange, was it Curse Orange? Where it was like Tipsy,
Yeah.
Burns, Mochila, Enable.
I've
Enable
seen Enable.
Enable
go to
can be
Tipsy.
very
I remember that
he
argument.
can just be, well, so was Mochila too, but like I don't know if passive aggressive is the right word, but like he can especially when they're not doing well. Like he can get under people's skin and stuff too. So I wonder if maybe
Oh,
they were
definitely.
bumping heads. And I don't know what happened exactly, but I love Enable. He's the fucking man and he's a friend. But like I could see how he could absolutely bump heads with a teammate for sure if that's what went down.
Well, dude, I've seen one of the
Well-
craziest arguments when it was him and I watched him and Tipsy argue about a play for a solid 3 hours. Like
Oh, yeah,
we were,
he
we were
won't
eating
stop.
dinner
He won't
together,
stop.
and they both wouldn't stop. It was hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I remember it.
But to your question, if you're going to ask me if Octane wants to do something with this team, should he get probably majority vote, or in a way
Well, it's
should
like
it kind of be his
But-
decision?
At the
I
same
would
time,
say
like
yes.
I see, like I agree with you, but at the same time, like if Slacked, Apathy, and Pander, if this is like how it went down and what Enable is saying is obviously true, if they really were just like, we just don't want to play with this guy, like it's kind of hard to be like, fuck you. I don't know. I feel like it's really tough because it's not like Slacked and Apathy specifically, like no offense to Pander, but Slacked and Apathy also hold a lot of weight in the sense of like their careers and like they know a lot what they're talking about too.
Yeah,
It's
I
not
think
like,
it comes down. I don't even know because it would be Pander's spot, so he doesn't really have a
yeah,
say.
yeah.
I'm
I think
imagining,
he's
like,
just saying whatever he can say to get him on the team. So
yeah.
I don't know.
I'm done to play with anybody. Yep.
Yeah,
You know me.
exactly.
Do my
Yeah,
thing.
like I feel like that would be his
Right.
mentality on that.
Like, can I play? Dope.
So I feel, and then Slacks and Apathy are still very respectable players. So it's just a tough spot to be in.
With this circumstance that they're put in now with Damon retiring, how can Enable not be playing on this team?
No idea.
It's unbelievable to me. And I hate to put down other players on the roster, but like Enable over, I don't know, like what? That's crazy to me. Again, we don't have all the information, but just outsider looking in, when you look at the situation that they're in and their subs, and you have Enable who's had so much success very recently with Sam. I don't know. Something's off.
It has openly
we
stated,
don't know something.
Is openly stated. It's a different thing if he's been like, no, I'm not playing. Right? He's openly stated like, I'm down to go to work. I'm gonna put my head down. Whatever. It's done. What's done is done. And then just be like, nah.
Yeah,
We got
but
Proto.
It's weird.
so the one thing I'll say that's obviously not on Enable's side is don't forget the reason why he ended up like kind of getting benched in the first place. And if you were asking me specifically as a person, if I had like what Enable apologized, he said he fucked up. He should have been more motivated, and probably wasn't all his fault either. I'm sure their culture sucked. There's always two sides of that story.
Felt like
like,
you quit
obviously.
on him though. I felt like you
But like the whole story when he first initially got benched, like I can tell you personally, like I'm just never playing with someone like that again. Like, and I know that's the thing with him, which is so weird, is I know that's not how he is. So he's like an anomaly in the situation. So like I do like Enable is a hard worker. I've coached the guy. I've seen him get from point A to point B in like such drastic ways and like with hard work and community, like all of that. But like I'm also someone that like hates getting my time wasted. So like I'm sure if you're in their position and that's kind of how they feel, I can kind of see that side of things.
Yeah.
I just know how hard Enable does work when he says he's going to do it. So that's the reason why it's kind of weird. But I just feel like there's something missing that we don't know.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's just weird because if Sam
We
wanted
say
to
that
play
a
with him,
lot,
I feel like.
True.
I mean, well, because the one thing I hate going on a podcast or just talking publicly about stuff is when you actually don't know like both sides of stories like for yourself and like you start talking about it with
We're
confidence.
speculating.
You're speculating, and like I always want to make that clear because like you never actually know because like some people obviously take it too serious, but like I feel like there's just something there that we don't know because if Sam wants to play with Enable and the other two don't, and that's what's been publicly said, like something had to happen behind the scenes. And for me, knowing how hard Enable works and how good he is when he does work hard, I feel like it's weird that they wouldn't want him to play. But that's why I feel like in practice, a lot of the times the way decisions are made in practice, man, like that's what's going on in practice. And I don't know if it's Enable's fault. I don't know if it's Slack's fault. I don't know if they're not getting along. I don't know, but I feel like there's just more to that story.
Just drop the entire fucking team.
I'm thinking Champs. You look at Enable, what he's been able to do with Champs. Champs is everything.
Yeah, he always works hard and he always performs. Done.
His
And I feel
team,
like that's
his
enough of an
team,
argument.
yeah. Like you're making great points, and obviously, like something must have happened. The culture wasn't there. They weren't.
Something has to
They
be
were
more than we don't know.
like, yeah, it's just crazy. You look at like just track record. That stuff matters to me a lot. How individual players play at champs matters. It does. People are like, oh, I don't get nervous or I don't play a different at certain events. Some players do. They really do.
Yep.
And I don't know. I feel like he's a guy that's been performing extremely well at champs. I don't know. Be interested to see how they perform moving forward in this one. Obviously, playing with Proto and Pander. I don't have high hopes.
Yeah, they are fudged. Let's be honest. We gotta play. Feel like this group is tough, man. I gotta play FaZe, and again, I think for FaZe, Dallas, Chicago, Minnesota, like it's also the event they've been focusing on for a while. They know who's all here. They know Sunday is gonna be insane. Heck, even Saturday for them. Like their toughest competitions here, and I think they're all probably that extra week of practice probably helped everyone, and they're probably all souped up, ready to go.
Yeah. Moving on to the next matchup down below. You can see it on their screens there if you're watching on YouTube. Minnesota versus Dallas. This one's very important for me to see. So Dallas had a break, right? They were looking really, really good. I want to see if the break hurts them and they come out maybe like a little bit slow in this group. And then also Minnesota has looked like crap. So if I don't necessarily need to see Minnesota like win this group and make it out, right? They make it top 2. But I need to see competitive, very competitive series. If they come out and just get stomped again, like it very well could happen. And that would be 3 events in a row now?
Yeah.
Of poor, nothing really going for them for a team like that.
I mean, it's a league of superstars. Like most leagues, if GodRx is going to be a superstar, he has to have a good event. He's off two bad events.
He's got to get back to that elite status.
Yeah, because that's what separates a lot of times. Like I think you guys can speak to it more, but like it's what separates the good from the elite. It's consistency. Like that's the number one thing. Like anyone can have a good event. Not everyone can have every event be good. And he was on that pace where he was just nuts. Now it's back-to-back events where he kind of puts up a dud. So
yeah,
as much as I want to see how Minnesota does, me personally, I'm curious how GodRx does. Does he bounce back?
It's a great point. Yeah, he's the guy. He's like it's so much more. Like as I know, it's his team that enables him to do so well. But like back-to-back duds for what he was doing before, like it's such a massive difference. So
yeah, but you'd say that for like any sport.
Yeah,
you know? Like
you definitely.
The running back needs his O-line. It applies to everything, but like superstars have to get there. It's just part of it. Like he's got to.
Yeah, I agree with you. He's the guy we got to look out for and get back to that top shape. You guys have any comments for Minnesota Dallas?
It's weird. This is just an event that I was really focused on, and then with Minnesota's recent, their recent form, Florida with another roster change. Oh, that's what it's talk about Awakening. They bring in a new player. It's different. This group A stacked, but it's like if we get the Dallas that we've seen the last 2 home series, it's really not. Like Atlanta and Dallas should be able to just get out.
Yeah.
But I'm just excited because they have all 3 Atlanta, Dallas, and Chicago won their last home series that they've been at. Or was there one where?
Wait.
Is what Dallas won?
Yes.
They beat you guys.
Yes.
And then
we won.
Then you won, and now Chicago won, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're all off a win.
So we're all off the last event that we played. We won.
Whoa.
Yeah, correct.
That's crazy. Yeah, I'm excited about that. That should be like like you would assume all 3 teams are at like I don't know if peak is the right word, but at a high standard coming off of a win.
Chris, do you know much about Awakening? Like you're using my resident kind of am guy, but I didn't know if you.
I know he played a lot of Search in Black Ops 3, and I know that he plays really well. I don't know anything about his LAN results on like the amateur scene, but I know he plays really well online. I'm pretty sure he has gotten a lot of the Warrior comments, so I'm sure he's that's probably a good thing. Yeah, I don't really know much about him though, other than he played a lot of Black Ops 3 S&D.
No, because I mean obviously, especially for Joe and I with commentating the Pro League, like our 99.9% of it focuses the Pro League. The only AIMs that really come on my radar are ones that are really frying or start some beef with pros or really like make a name for himself. But like I'd heard of him, but I don't have a ton of.
It would definitely this
knowledge
pickup
on him.
caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting them to pick up Awakening. Like I feel like that came out of nowhere. Because my thing is like maybe I don't really know too much about like their relationships with the players, but like I just don't even know like where Awakening came from in the sense of like being friends with any of the players or how it worked. I don't know, but he must have been doing something right in the amateur scene. I just don't follow it
Well, he was on
too
that
much.
Western. What was it? Western? Am I saying it right? He was on like that Western.
Yeah,
team,
they're
right?
good. That's what I mean. Like he was
That's-
doing
yeah.
good. That's what I mean. He's been doing good online. I don't know anything about LAN results, but he must have been doing something right to obviously get his eye like taken from a
Yeah.
pro team. So hopefully he does well.
Group B, Gorillas
an
versus
interesting one.
Toronto. Interesting stuff with Toronto. So
Well, both teams kind of. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, well,
I cut you off. Keep going.
Saints is back too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I like that.
I would say both teams are coming off their best
I like
weekend
that.
though, too, right?
I was saying that. Like they need some more muscle, and Saints is the guy to sort of do that.
You would think so.
Well,
You would
what?
think,
Toronto got
yeah.
to a semifinal. They played really, really good. They beat some top teams, and Gorillas beat Seattle and went to like a game 5 with someone or
Yeah,
something.
I think they're both
They
coming off
better.
their best events. Yeah, I mean, they've definitely looked better.
So what? So the latest we know, or what we've seen from some images, is that CleanX is in for Classic.
Yeah.
Maybe, which is weird to me because Classic was like one of the best performing players at the last event for Toronto. I think
So
alongside Methods.
I walked away from champs last year thinking CleanX was definitely gonna be on team. That guy was fucking nasty. What was it, Singularity?
yeah.
Sorry, Chris. What were you gonna say?
So right now, the reason why Classic is not playing, from my knowledge, is he went home to visit his family in New York. And with him not being in Toronto, he was not allowed to scrim with the team.
Wait, what? It's on. We have the internet.
What?
You heard what I said. That's all I
Yeah.
know.
We have internet.
So apparently,
Do you not have internet there?
no, he has internet in New York.
Is that
He has good internet. He has good internet in New York, actually.
is that a management decision?
I
Yeah,
look.
yeah, I know you don't
I
know. I'm
know.
speculating.
This is to my knowledge. Obviously, I don't make their decisions. I don't know how things go, but from what I was told, he went home. He left Toronto for like 4 days, and Toronto it's New York. Anyone that wants to know, that's not very far. I don't know, and
It's like an hour. It's like an hour
Yeah.
flight.
it's not a very far flight. And from that, he wasn't allowed to scrim until he came back to Toronto.
They have like those like team therapy like sessions where like they do like the trust fall where like they fall back and they have to catch him and he was like missing out on one of the meetings or something.
I don't know. My personal thoughts on it is just I feel like if a player wants to go home and visit his family for a little bit, or visit whoever does whatever he wants to do, for if it's like a 3 or 4 day thing, with it being an online league, I just feel like it's not a big deal. I don't know the whole insides to it, so obviously I'm not going to sit here and rip it apart, not knowing everything. But it just sounds very odd that a player couldn't scrim because he went home to New York. I don't know.
What was the last Hardpoints? Or maybe we were just talking, but at some point, like mental health and burnout and
Yeah, we brought
this
that up with
stuff has to
Christini.
start. It has to start being an absolute focus for these organizations, especially the amount that you're investing into your players, right? Money wise. Why do you not want them in for the long haul? Like that should be the goal, is to build up a franchise. A franchise is around for a while with hopefully players that you have built up. Like if he wants to go home because he's burnt out, misses his family for 3 or 4 days, let him go home for a few days.
There has to be something we're missing, right?
I don't know. I just look, if you're asking me honestly, I grew up with the kid, so like this is obviously more slightly biased in this fact that I think it's kind of stupid, but just the way I view it, like he's not a very irrational person. He's not going to be like, I'm going home because this, that, and this. Like if he wanted to go home, he probably wanted to go home just to kind of see his dog again, just whatever it is. And he's a pretty easygoing person, so it's just very weird to me that he couldn't scrim from New York. It just doesn't make sense to me. I feel like I don't know. There's got to be something missing.
Especially
I don't know.
coming off.
But it's
what I
got to
think
be
a lot
pretty
of people
serious though,
think.
because they're playing well. We have an event coming up in a week, and you take 3 to 4 days off scrimming with your team. Like it seems, and he played well himself, right? So it's just
Yeah.
weird. Like So it must have been a very serious thing on the Toronto side of things to not let one of your players scrim for 3 to 4 days, right?
Yeah.
I
If
watched
that,
Dennis
like,
Rodman go to Vegas
don't
for
know.
like
Yeah.
3 or 4 days before a playoff game. He was fine.
Well, no, that's serious. So like to like not allow the scrim with your, I don't know, it's just weird. I feel, I'm sure there's more like we always talk about on this podcast. It's
Gotta be.
speculation, but
Weird.
it just seems very weird that
I mean,
you
when
can't scrim from home.
when you suspect something's off, something's usually off. So I don't know whether it's on his side that something wasn't communicated effectively, or
It's a contract. It's just in the
or it's a
contract.
contract
just,
thing. Yeah.
could be an asshole.
But,
Or something maybe the management there.
It
is
could
just,
be a
like, kind of
contract thing, but
stickler.
now, so say if it was a contract thing, right? Let's go hypothetical here. You like, if it is a contract thing, like, I just feel like if you were to approach me and be like, listen, honestly, like I'm your boss or whatever, like honestly, I want to go home just for 3 to 4 days, like just miss my family, whatever it is.
I'll still practice.
I'm still practicing.
Yeah, it's
Well,
not like
you're not, and he's not going to LA, which would shit on your practice.
Yeah, that's what
online.
I'm saying.
You're going to the same spot realistically an hour away. So it's like, I just don't see what the big deal is. I even if it's in the contract, be like, you know what, like you do your thing for a couple of days, you still show up to practice on time, we're cool. But but maybe they want to run it more serious over there. I don't know.
From a sports background, that's
that's what I mean. Maybe it's more serious and it's just wrong. Yeah,
that's my guess. Like
everyone's different. I just feel like that's super
contract.
important to let your players clear their heads and.
That makes sense though. Like if they allow him to do something like that, what's going to stop the other players from wanting to do something like that? But
at that point though, like my team has been in that spot where if you like Major Maniac wanted to go home and see his family, and we asked the players, are we all cool with this? All right, bet. Bye.
Yeah.
And it's cool. Like, are you gonna show up to practice on time? Okay, like that's cool. Like I don't know. I just feel like
one of those things too with like this situation going on, like where this just makes like sense to do. Like there was a global pandemic. Like
yeah,
it wasn't able to go home. People weren't allowed to leave. Like let someone go see their family. I don't know.
I don't know. It's just weird. To me.
Absolutely,
it's a very weird rumor thing that's been.
So we don't know who's starting, basically.
Not sure who started, but they're playing with
I'm
CleanX.
under the assumption, from what I know, that he's still starting.
Okay.
So I don't know, but this is not like me talking to these guys like directly. This is just what I hear. Like once again, speculation.
Through the grapevine.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, Saints is back for Gorillas. I mean, if you look at their last event, I think they were all at a 1.
Yeah.
Besides Vivid, who was at like a 0.7, like not bad, not good. So I mean, because their search was really good. Like their search continues to be really good, as we expected with like this team. And we know what Saints does. Saints doesn't typically go very negative. Like it's just the player he is. Like, it just feels like you said, TeeP, where if they get some more muscle and respawn, could be a
random 40 from Renato. Why not?
Could be a big. It could be big for them, dude. Like this could be a big moment.
Sometimes you need a random 40. You know?
What kind of shape is Saints in right now? Sometimes his gameplay is reflective of that. I've seen him like chiseled, cut like he's a weightlifter. I just never know what I'm going to see when he.
I'm pretty sure he's in good shape right now.
Yeah, I think he's.
I'm pretty sure he's in good shape right now. Is that a bad thing?
I've never seen someone's figure fluctuate more event to event than Renato. He's like, dude, when he gets his mind like set on getting cut, dude, he just like he'll show up to an event. He's like 40 pounds have gone, and he's just like shredded. I'm like, what the hell? Okay, what's up?
You're right on that one.
No, I'm actually pretty sure he's on a gym grind though. No bullshit. I think he's on his serious shit.
Oh, might be fine. I actually don't remember if it's good or bad which way it goes, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great
That
input.
point sucked.
Great input from Clint there.
Great insight from Clint.
I brought it up. I wasn't sure why he wasn't playing already before, so I think this is a thumbs up, and I'm excited to see what they can do. If they can maybe sneak a couple more respawns and how it affects their already solid S&D play. Will it hinder that at all? I don't know. Be interesting to see, but the potential is definitely there. And with the weird situation going on with Toronto, it might be their time to maybe they can take the series, right?
He can't be worse than Vivid in search. I think when I read up the stats 2 weeks ago when we did it, everyone had like a 1.2 or above, and then he had like a 0.5. Or it was something crazy. I don't have them pulled up right now, but it was something wild.
I literally just said that, Clint.
No, you said about the overall. Were you talking overall stats? Or were you just talking search? Oh, I think you're talking overall stats.
Are we talking
overall?
I'm talking search. I'm just talking search. He said maybe it'll impact search.
But we're winning search. Someone's gonna die.
Were we talking Vivid or Spark?
Vivid. Vivid. Oh, Spart. Sorry, I meant Spart. Did I say Vivid?
Do we flip it backwards?
I thought
Yes,
I thought Vivid's been pretty solid.
Yes, Vivid's been solid. I mixed that up. New guys, Spart. Yeah, Spart's the one.
Okay. Just want to clarify
Spart's
that.
the one.
Sorry, Spart.
Well, I mean, Nito's a little different. Like, someone's got to go in first.
Yeah.
No, but it was just, I remember it was so staggering how insane it was.
And they were really
What
good.
the hell?
They were really good at Search last event, though. They were like 4-0.
Yeah, solid.
Yeah.
I could see
4-1.
I could see Gorillas taking this series versus Toronto. No BS.
I'd pick them on contesting the point to be.
Yeah. Ooh.
Well,
Okay.
I mean, if Toronto hasn't been scrimming too, I just feel like it kind of puts them at a disadvantage too. I don't know. I
That's
feel
what
like,
I'm saying.
Yeah,
like a weaker Toronto potentially.
Yeah, I think this is a slightly weaker Toronto right now. Maybe the break honestly helped them, but like most of the time, like just staying on top.
It usually doesn't help taking a break.
Yeah, especially when you're not like the best team.
Yeah.
Like by far in the game.
Yeah,
I feel like taking a break is usually
totally agree with you there. Chicago versus Florida. You guys brought up the roster change.
The rivalry.
Oh yeah, the rivalry. Wow. So the roster change. You guys brought it up with Awakening. I don't think it matters at all. I think with how Chicago looked with Pristini, I think they're going to look even better. I think they're going to walk over this group. I think they're going to look even better than they did the last event. Thoughts? Agree? Disagree?
I can see it.
They impressed me.
It's just like walking over a team in this game is just
never
so
happened.
difficult.
Yeah,
like
I get what you're saying.
Tough.
Yeah, like it just feels like no matter what, like
even when you're 3-0,
there's going to be a close match. Like whether it'll be Toronto, whether it'll be Florida. I mean, I think we've all talked about it. Like the stars of Florida are like what's scary. Like if Pharaoh, Frosty, like Skies have a good game, and then you get Awakening for Mox, and we knew Mox was sort of like he wasn't running mid AR, so he was sort of in a weird position. We knew this was coming sooner or later. I don't know what Awakening runs, but if they flow a little bit better, Florida, I mean, they could be the Florida that won an event, you know?
Well, is this the first event we're seeing Awakening?
Mhm.
Right?
Yeah.
So the only thing I would criticize Florida for, not criticize, but keep it just like in question, is yes, Mox was not their highest slayer. He wasn't their most aggressive player. He was kind of out of his element, not running the main AR to Skies, who Skies is very good with an AR. But he had to be I feel like you can't argue that he wasn't their leader.
He had to be.
He had to be the guy that keeps everyone in line.
That's just his personality.
That's what it seems like. I've never teamed with the guy. I don't know, but I feel like he comes off as the guy to keep shit in line. And then now you have Awakening, who I don't think is stepping in those shoes. And I think, yes, maybe he brings a little bit more firepower, a little bit more speed, whatever you want to say. Like, of course, he's probably very talented. Sometimes that doesn't go farther than leadership. When this Florida team, yes, they did struggle. They got 8th place. They also got a 2nd and a 1st, right?
Yep.
Yeah, no, 100%.
So we'll see, right? We'll see what happens. But I feel like organization in this game and going the right way is super, super important, because if you fuck up in this game with squad spawns, you don't get a second chance.
I'm going to read a quote from your player, Simp. Personally, I don't think you need a veteran leadership on the team. I think if everyone knows how to play COD and everyone wants to get better, then everyone is there to do that.
And I agree with that. And but the thing is, though, is like you have to have 5 players. And this could obviously.
It was just funny you were saying that, because like I think Simp.
No, because I have that talk with look at my team. They don't have a veteran leadership, and that's like my team's gimmick. But like, I agree with that if you have 5 hardworking players that are all on the same mindset of doing that, which is also very rare, and it goes to the coaching staff. So I think Atur is a very good coach. I've spoken highly about him, and I don't know the players on Florida specifically well enough to like say anything of them. So like, this could obviously be. It could be a great thing, and obviously everything that I'm saying could be wrong. And this is why I keep it in question. I'm not saying that you need a leader. I'm just saying that this is going to kind of put them to the test whether or not Mox was leading them in the right direction or not. I feel like this is a big test for them to kind of prove that they don't need that.
Did they win the first? Was it Pharaoh's first event when they won?
Well, yeah.
Yes.
No. LA was.
Okay.
LA was their first event with Pharaoh. But he was also in for, wasn't it a Broken Apart? Didn't he
No,
like come in last?
He came in last second, like literally last
Yeah,
second
yeah.
at LA.
So they're sort of their first event with him.
That
then.
was
Well,
with
I
the
gonna
coach.
say,
That was with the
at least they've shown they can just fucking throw
No,
something.
that's what I mean. Yeah, like so that was with the last second, but like yeah, I just feel like right now we'll kind of see if this team doesn't need that leader and they're all five of them can kind of get their shit together collectively as a group with the coaching staff, which I think Katura is a good coach, so I think it's so possible. But it's just a weird thing to kind of go down because I feel like if you're having that approach to a team, which I personally think is very easy to pull off, you just have to have the right culture and work ethic with it. So we'll see. That was just like one thing to keep in question because I just feel like
Yeah.
it's a weird thing. But I mean, if Awakening puts the right like spot there too, they can get better. And if they get better, obviously that's better for them at the end all be all.
Absolutely. I think role wise, it makes more sense than what they had before. I have to say that, but I just think, oh, Chicago looked so goddamn good so fast. I think they're going to be able to come. I don't know. I don't give. Maybe I'll be wrong, but I think Chicago. I look at this group in Chicago. I think they should have somewhat of an easy time with them. I guess that brings us to predictions. You guys down for some predictions?
Yeah, we're all gonna pick the same stuff.
Think so?
Yeah.
I don't know. Group B.
I don't know.
I mean, I guess we'll see there. I don't know what you're gonna pick in Group B.
I mean, I'm going Chicago, Florida.
Okay. Let's go around the table. Group A. Crowder start.
Group A, that's my group.
Yeah, it's your group.
Who's making it out?
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
I hope FaZe makes it out.
Yep.
And
Shocked.
and yeah, I'm definitely rooting for those guys. Good group of guys over there. And then I'm gonna go with Dallas.
So Atlanta, Dallas. Joe.
Atlanta, Dallas.
Clint.
If Minnesota's looked better, maybe we're trying to make an argument for them. But
Even if they looked at their very best, I'd still go Atlanta, Dallas.
Atlanta, Dallas for me too. Group B. Crowder, go.
Group B. So this is Chicago, Florida,
Gorillas.
Toronto, and Gorillas.
Correct.
So I got Chicago easy. I think
Yeah.
Chicago breezes through this. And ooh, man.
The second pick is the wild card.
I would love to say Toronto here.
Okay.
But with the Toronto bullshit that we just heard, I don't know. Like, I don't know if, man.
let me ask you a question, Chris.
What?
Let me ask you a question.
What?
Do you think, because like Toronto obviously got better, and they beat Minnesota, they beat New York when New York was starting to look better, but they also, I feel, played some very specific maps that like it felt like Toronto just like they focused on. Like I felt like they played a lot of Hackney, felt like they played a lot of Ramaza. Like, do you think, like, is it one of those things where they just have some strong maps? People didn't respect them. Now that they have some quality wins, people will start vetoing those maps and they'll be in a tougher spot. Because we've seen that happen before.
Well, we've seen that happen multiple times. And that happens just a lot. And so that's a possibility.
Like, am I wrong? Didn't they play a lot of Ramaz, a lot of Hackney? Like, I'm right with that, right? Like,
I think you're right. You know more about this than me.
I'm gonna go look now to make sure I'm not too silly. But
if that's the case though, then like that can totally be a thing. Because that's how a lot of teams get through events is playing their strong maps that people don't know are strong.
Yeah.
Right? That's usually how you make that weird run. Bringing it back all the way to World War II, like EG, not EG. EG at Champs got Gibraltar every time because everyone was vetoing St. Marie because recently they were so good at St. Marie, they got that second place run and then everyone stopped playing them on St. Marie. They kind of sucked, but then they got really, really good at Gibraltar and no one really knew about it and they played really well at Champs. So, like, that's definitely a thing. So,
Gibraltar.
So like I don't know.
It still hurts.
I feel like that's a thing, but the Gorillas.
Is it not as obvious with them as I'm making it seem? Maybe because I don't think I cast in much Toronto, so I just like I just watch and a lot of times I'm like back and forth. So
my thing with Toronto is I feel like since the beginning of this year, even when they were even weaker, then they like obviously they're not the best right now still, but like they've gotten better. They've always been like a scrappy team. I feel like they weren't just getting put out 3-0 a lot of their series. Now I could be wrong, but this is not how I feel every time.
No, they're always a good search team.
They're a good search team, and I feel like that with the way they've been playing some respawns, even if you can veto, if they have two good maps, if you veto one of their maps, you're probably gonna get the other, right?
Get the other one. Okay.
So like I think right now if they keep up and hopefully this 4-day break of whatever the hell happened with these weird scrims have like kind of keep up, I personally think they should be the team to make it out of this group.
Yeah, I think it's a confidence thing, right? Like they've done it.
Yeah, and they've done it. They've beaten pretty good teams, and they've gotten close to the good teams. they've played close series with some really good teams. So it's like I don't know. I feel like they should be the team to get out of this group.
Dude, it's just so tough. I think I'm going to do it because I really had to argue on contesting the point. But I like Florida just is such a wild card. It just feels like they get to a final or they don't get out of groups and get last place. But I still just love their core of Florida. So I think I'm gonna go Florida in Chicago. I don't know. I like want to believe Toronto, but Toronto's only done it one time where Florida's done it twice, and now they're coming off a roster change. And all this stuff with Toronto kind of scares me. I'll be honest.
Well, and the Florida thing, just to back you up, like I don't think Florida's a crazy pick. The only reason why I wouldn't go out on a limb for them myself is just because like they did have a roster change.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of waiting to see how it plays out.
I know.
But like in the sense, it could be one of those things where you see a roster change and makes them so much better. And if they get better than they have been, they're in a good spot.
It's
so like
scary.
I don't think your pick's not wild at all to me. I think that's a good pick. Maven.
Plant.
Chicago, Florida.
The pay.
Chicago Gorillas.
Ooh, I like that. I knew you were gonna go with that, bro.
I was bringing up like I swear on like 2 or 3 different episodes I gave Gorillas shit for
Same
like
thing.
yeah for like you had a Saints, you had a Lace Field in the back pocket. It made no sense to me. I don't know. I think if I'm gonna back them, it's gonna be now, and they might suck, and I might be sad. But I think if like they're gonna make this shift, and I think this is their last sort of chance throughout the rest of the season. That's kind of grim to think about, but that's kind of how I think about it. Like they're gonna make this switch, and I don't know how much better they're actually going to get. And I think if they can like make something happen right now against maybe weaker Toronto and come out and get a win, and then probably lose against Chicago, and then win the second match or after they lose, because I think they're gonna lose to Chicago even if they do win the first match. I think this is the chance for them. So I'm gonna go Chicago Gorillas. Switch it up. Florida's gonna be. I think Florida's gonna be really good too. But I feel like if I'm ever going to predict Gorillas to make it out, it's gonna be for some reason this one.
Now let's get to the fun part.
All right, overall winner. This is the tough one. We might get some different answers here. Crowdy boy. Oh, I wonder who you're gonna pick. Shit.
Well, I hope my team wins.
Yep. Okay, Joe.
I
Overall
just
winner.
say Empire, but you're gonna say FaZe.
No, actually, weirdly enough, I don't want to say Empire. I almost wanted to say Chicago, but I haven't seen them play this new roster play against Atlanta and Dallas. And the one test will be for like this Chicago team is when you play a similarly skilled team, right? That is when the Pristini test, I think, like truly comes in. And we've been waiting for that. But I'm gonna go FaZe. I just think after that oops at whatever event that was, where they lost in the final, that was the Chicago event to Dallas. They were unprepared. They did the role change for no reason. Stupid. And now they're past that. They're past that mistake. So I'm going FaZe.
Wait until you see that Sims running our main AR.
Hey, where am I in the YouTube video? Like with respect to Chris, is he above me? My left, my right? Where's Chris?
He is. You're left.
Idiot.
Good job, Clint. You pointed the right direction.
Yeah, I'm proud of you, man.
Very smart.
Hey, but what if we came out and the BZ was running a main AR this event?
Idiot.
No.
Is it my turn?
Yeah, it's your turn.
I'm gonna go FaZe. There's been nothing yet this year that's changed my mind. They're not the best team. FaZe
Wait,
the best team.
To play devil's advocate, really? Like I feel like if you're going,
you and I went back and forth about the Dallas thing. I still thought FaZe was the best.
Okay, interesting.
The overall records, dude, is absurd.
I'm gonna pick Dallas, and that's going on a limb, thinking that the break didn't hurt them. I think the break is gonna kind of hurt them. I think it's never a good thing when they looked so good, and I feel like the young talent we've brought up so many times. I think they're like blossoming.
Yeah, they are.
The break.
No, it is the break. The break did suck. Like, because I think
it looks so good.
If this was the weekend after that, we'd probably pick like Dallas or like. Again, I just knew they beat a FaZe in a final that there was a lot. It was sloppy. sloppy. The role change, like, and it felt like Dallas were ahead. They 100% were. When we watched that event, we're like,
No, they were playing better than every team.
They have it figured out. I think to your like worry, I hope this is where the veterans of Crim and Clay, and also, I mean, Alien Shot, like those guys, they just seem hungry. Like they just love COD. Yeah. They're at the point in their careers where I'm watching them play 2 a.m. S&D tournaments still, which not a lot of pros are doing.
It's something as simple as that. I think that's the little edge that Dallas and FaZe have over other teams. They love it.
Yeah,
they love it.
I hope this would be where Rambo I think Rambo is sort of coming into more of a, like, this is when you would be like, he should be helping them at this point to keep these guys focused. So yeah, I almost went with them too.
Yeah. I'm going with Dallas. So we got some different picks. Again, I'm not super confident about my group pick.
No Chicagos?
No Chicagos. So
no Chicagos.
Crazy to think about, especially after
shit, you're about to get a bunch of dislikes, bro.
This is one of those things.
Empire and FaZe were top 2. Nothing. How could last weekend change your minds?
It's just one of those things.
We're trolling because Huntsmen fans might watch the video and be pissed.
Yeah, no. It's just one of those things. Though, like this event, it's like, didn't I say this at one of the events we weren't at? Where like, I said like, when Chicago won, I said that New York was probably going to win that event. Like I predicted New York, but I said I wouldn't be surprised at all if Chicago won.
Yeah.
I just feel like right now, like with the 3 teams that we're talking about, I just feel like any of the teams you can pick, and like obviously not like I'm biased towards my team, but any teams you can pick, but it wouldn't be like, oh wow, like I can't believe X or Y won. Right, like I feel like this is going to be an absolute bloodbath. This is probably going to be the best event of the year. Like that's what I mean. Like there's going to be.
I think there's only 3 teams.
Incredible event.
There's only 3 teams that can win for me though. Yeah, I agree with you. It's going to be incredible, but it's between the big 3. But I think
Absolutely.
if everyone does what is predicted, I think Sunday and Saturday will be fucking crazy.
Yeah,
and I think that's like what I'm kind of getting. Like I think this will be like some of the best Call of Duty you'll ever watch.
I'm very excited to watch.
I've been waiting for this thing. I think I talked about like 4 episodes ago or
so.
Am
I?
I can't wait.
And I don't want to like put down the other events, but this one should have better games.
Really
better games from top to bottom.
I was just looking at. I think it's the New York event next, and it's just because obviously teams are going up and down. But I think the New York event, it has Atlanta, Chicago, London, who's getting better, New York, who got better, Minnesota again, like Ultra. It's another one.
What was the next one that was crazy? What was it? Oh, I think it's London. Is that the one that was
London?
Nuts? What was the next one that was insane?
I think it might have been Toronto you're thinking of.
Is it Toronto?
Yeah, the Group B is Atlanta, Minnesota, Florida, Dallas.
Toronto, that's what it was. The last show.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
There'll be some crazy ones.
I'm excited. I'm going to throw up the schedule for you guys watching on YouTube real quick. If you guys want to tune into the event this weekend, these fine gentlemen will be casting. Crowder's team will be playing in the tournament. You can see the schedule right there. Starts on Friday, starting off with Ultra versus Gorillas. Then the FaZe take on the Surge, Mutineers versus the Huntsmen. And then the marquee matchup is going to be the Dallas Empire versus Minnesota Rocker to end out the first round matchup. So I'm super excited to see the tournament. We're hyping it up. This is one that I've been looking forward to. Clint's been looking forward to. We've all been looking forward to for quite a while now, from just the best matchups from top to bottom that we could possibly see throughout the year. So super excited to watch the tournament. Hope you guys tune into it, and we'll definitely have an episode to cover all the action that goes down this weekend.
Wait. Where's Joe? Is he right or up, or where's Joe?
He's like up left. There you go. Nice.
Blowing them kisses.
Clint, you're good at this. This interaction stuff. This is new. You're evolving as a.
Yeah, we're around
try
the
to do it.
horn
Should we
now.
try to do it at the same time?
Come here.
Yeah. So where am I? Where do I?
Yeah.
You gotta go down to the left, right?
Down to Joe's right.
Down to my right.
Yeah.
Come on, Joe.
Oh, you're so stupid.
Around the fucking horn.
Oh shoot, that was hilarious. All right, guys, thanks for watching the episode. We'll see you the next time. Have a good one.